I gotta say, you guys are lucky you do not understand German. Because if you read some of the German press, you will cringe. You will not believe that this is happening in the heart of Europe. And I'm a little bit worried because I am in the European Union in Romania. Germany has a lot of influence towards the European Union. And if they want to live like this, that's fine. But I want them to keep living like this for themselves, not spread this type of very interesting culture to the rest of Europe. So what am I talking about? Well, apparently, a couple of days ago, a German man decided to punish his wife in a very interesting way. The way that he decided to do it was to decapitate her. And unlike, civilized people to do this in their own home, what happens in their bedroom is none of my business, I understand, okay. No, he did it in public. And there are recordings of this circulating on the internet. And I understand that the Polizei from the Westhessen is saying that anyone who is going to spread the recording of this act of violence, like the objective reality of what happened, risks being arrested. So let me translate this. We have realizations that videos of the execution of the crime circulate on the net. Discontinue the retransmission. We will consistently initiate criminal proceedings against everyone who publishes a video of violence. Now, I'm pretty sure that they have the legal backgrounds to prosecute people who are, spreading what actually has transpired. And by the way, the European Union wants to make it so that all the countries within the European Union abide by the same censorious laws. I could go in and show you guys a couple of legal documents that they try to push, but basically like they would want this to be the thing. Like if you see something horrible, you can't post it online. And you might say, well, clearly this is to protect minorities. This is to protect the decent German folk who want to decapitate people. No, that's not the point. The point is to protect the politicians that are responsible for this. Okay? In my country, no one is decapitating people. Now, there might be certain political decisions that people could take and the situation could change. In which case, people would like to vote the politicians responsible out because the politicians are responsible to providing safety to the public. The woman who has been decapitated was a German citizen worthy of obtaining legal protection. The fact that this has happened in broad daylight in the middle of the street is the blame of the German authorities who are under the command of the German politicians, and they are to blame. They are the ones that have not done enough in order to protect this woman's life. The issue here is that by the police making sure that people aren't distributing something abhorrent, which is the reality, so they can actually see what is transpiring, the public will not protest. The public will not go and vote. So they will keep the politicians cozy while they talk about empathy, human compassion, protecting the environment, and all the other good things, and ignore the consequences. And like for example, let me tell you what's going on in Britain, which is a very similar situation, right? In Britain, you have stabbings. If I try to show a video of a stabbing, it's going to be very difficult to do it on social media. Even though it's incredibly gruesome, it is incredibly disgusting. Like there was this video with a woman getting stabbed, and everyone that was sharing it got their Twitter banned because the British politicians asked for this to happen. And yet Britain is spending millions of dollars on policing the internet for hate speech. So wouldn't that money be better diverted towards equipping the police officer to do better? Because again, like the woman who got stabbed was actually next to a British police officer. And the guy who stabbed her was just defiantly standing there, not getting arrested. So you look at these things and you wonder like, okay, aren't the politicians to blame? The answer is yes. What do the politicians do? Focus on censorship. Let's put the problem under the rug rather than have an open discussion about what could have been done to prevent this. In fact, it's not that things can't be done to prevent this, that even having the conversation is a problem. Now you might say, well, we live in a civilized country, we can't just show evil things. Like, evil things happen, right? People get decapitated on the streets of West Henson. It happens, like, but we shouldn't show it to the public, right? Like, that's grotesque. Think of the children. What if a child sees it? Perfect, I agree. Then why is it that a couple of years ago, my news feed was inundated by, a kid which washed up dead on the shores of Greece? Why was that okay to be displayed? Why was that fine to be shown to the public? Literally, everyone saw it. It circulated around the world. Why was that fine? It wasn't even censored. It was horrible. Disgusting. I agree. And the reason was that, after the public seeing that picture, they started protesting and they, decided, we're going to vote so that this never happens again. So why was it that it was okay then, but it's not okay now? Is it because a billion-dollar corporation decided to show it? Like, if I has a mainstream media news conglomerate that has millions of dollars pushed into, then it's okay to have different rules than the average Joe that just captures the image with the smartphone? What about the kids in Syria dying from gas attack? Another example. That video is on YouTube, by the way. Even though breaking the terms of service, like, you're not allowed to show that shit. But it's CNN that shows it. Yeah, there is an article from CNN. You can search it on YouTube. And you will see kids gasping for breath, for air, while in Syria during an alleged gas attack. And they're dying. And they're foaming at the mouth. Why is that something that's okay to be shown and displayed to the world? What about that kid who, got rescued allegedly and put in an ambulance, also in Syria? Why is that fine? Showing brown kids that are suffering, and by the way, quote unquote brown, but showing like the correct children suffering, I guess that's okay. But showing, German people, that's not okay. I need to understand the logic. Look, I definitely am willing to learn. I want to be educated on the issue. Why is it okay for one and not okay for another? Can anyone explain to me? Like, I remember when I was seeing, the things coming out of Nice and the things coming out of the Paris concert and all of those things, everything was censored. Everything was censored. But when it's about something that happens in Syria, nothing is censored. Absolutely nothing. And it's like, why the double standard? That's what I want to know. Like, I'm fine with both. Just pick and choose. I don't care. Like, either censor all or don't censor any. But have a choice. It's like, no, this one is like this and this one is like that. No. And I know. It's like, oh, V, you hate brown people. You hate immigrants. An immigrant was killed. Right? Like, the woman that was decapitated was an immigrant. She was a Muslim. When you took them in, as a country, as a government, you had the mandate, you took it upon yourself to protect that person. Where is the protection? How am I Islamophobic for making this video? Complaining that a Muslim girl got decapitated. If I was Islamophobic, I'd be like, oh, who cares? Yeah, it's a good thing that they silence it. Because then maybe more will happen if I was Islam. But I'm not. I'm generally not. Like, I'm looking at her and I see a human being in the streets of Germany losing her head over this. And I'm sorry if I have to make jokes, but what can I do if the situation is so tragic that apparently you can behead someone in the middle of Germany and no one cares. And in fact, this video will get demonetized as well and suppressed under the algorithm. And get me in trouble for even speaking about it. But I'm not showing the video, Polizei West Henson, I'm not showing the video. People will just have to take my word. Imagine the most gruesome thing you can ever think of. That's what, probably worse. I am really worried. I don't mind if the Germans want to live this way. It's up to them how they vote. It's up to them who they elect as their representatives. That's their business. I just don't want it to come over here. That's what I want. You do you. Just stay there. It's like Germany is a nice place. I can go visit. I like German people. That some of them are great patrons of mine. I really like them. However, I don't like your culture. I don't like this. Keep it there. Don't bring it here. By the way, Merkel has lost a lot in the elections. A lot. in the local elections, not the one. No. She got absolutely hammered, both by the far left and the far right. Yeah, this is why you get to see the censorship. This is why you get to see all of the nastiness. It's not because oh, we're protecting minorities. You don't give a fuck about minorities. Let's be honest. They don't. They do care about maintaining their seats, maintaining their office. Oh, now the far left is winning. Not good. Not good. The far right is winning. Ooh, far right. Pray that they don't win the general elections. Because if the far left, and let's assume they really are the far right, ever get into power, they will gain control of the censorship apparatus that you have in place. They will be the ones calling the shots, controlling the police, controlling the mainstream media. Should I even talk about the mainstream media in Germany? Huh? Do you want to know? It's only a couple of companies, only a couple of German companies. There was a foreign company which wanted to start a broadcast in Germany, like CNN. CNN isn't an American company, as I understand it. It's or Al Jazeera. You know, a better example. Al Jazeera is an American company. Newsweek. No, it's from Qatar, right? But there was another foreign company that wanted to start broadcasting in Germany. Oh, they couldn't. Bureaucracy. They couldn't. Meanwhile, like if you listen to the gossip, to the conspiracy theories, the leaders of the German press, they're meeting with the politicians, conspiring. Conspiracy. This is an actual conspiracy theory, right? Conspiration. But of course there's conspiring. You know, like how else could they show pictures of dead kids in Greece when apparently it's illegal? You can't show violence. Yeah. Again, the German people are waking up by not voting for Merkel. They're voting for the far left and they're voting for the AFD. Again, like the AFD far right. I mean, they have a couple of crazy here and there, don't get me wrong. But I can also show you a couple of crazies from the far left. And I think like if we do it like this, I name you a crazy from the far left, you name me a crazy from the AFD. I think you're going to run out of crazies before me, you know? And at the end of the day, I generally do not care about the ideology. I do not care how you justify censorship, how you justify people being arrested for speaking out. I don't care how you justify it. Maybe you're on the side of God, you're on the side of Allah, you're on the side of bringing equality and communism, you're on the side of restoring the right. I don't give a shit. Stop censoring people. Stop trying to control every aspect of a person's life. You know, I don't think a person who clicks the mouse from the comfort of their bedroom by showing a disgusting video that actually happened, it's in real life, like, to them, the problem isn't that it happened. That's not the problem. The problem is that people show that it happened. That is the issue. It's like that's what sparks hatred. Like, the bigotry and hatred doesn't come from the fact that someone decapitates someone. No, that's fine. The bigotry and hatred comes from showing to other people that that situation actually took place. And this, my friend, is the people who have the moral high ground in today's society.